Welcome back to Bespoke Addict. I've got another extremely special pair here. These are going on eBay UK at no reserve, and wonderful, wonderful things, but sadly just a little bit too tall and a bit too wide for me. They don't fit me. And these are John Lobb. They're wearing Foster and Son trees, but these are not the trees for the shoes, I'm afraid. They're the best fitting trees I had for this pair. John Lobb Bespoke. Only Lobb Bespoke have that stamp. And unusually for a John Lobb, they've got a V cleat, which is quite unusual, but obviously that's what the customer required and asked for. But they're just beautiful things in simply superb condition. And they're round about. I'll put the exact measurements with the listing, and the listing number, of course, will go with this video. But they're round about a UK 10.5 to 11, but they're quite generous in the depth, and they're fairly wide. They would probably fit somebody of a heavier sort of physique. The length on them. Length of them on myself, I'm a UK 9.5. They're a bit long, and if I'm honest with you, if they were a slimmer, skinnier fit, I would put thick insoles in them and wear them and give the illusion that they fit me with an insole. But with the extra sort of breadth, I just can't. I'm relatively sort of light. I'm not particularly big, and I can't kid myself that these fit me. And just beautiful, beautiful things. Lobb Bespoke, Lobb of St James, and let's have a look. Let's see if I can point it out on camera. This is a tiny little hint at a bespoke shoe. If you peel the laces back, there we go. Just peel the lace back, and there's a tiny little hole just there. And it's the same at every lace point. When shoes are English bespoke shoes, when the uppers have been stitched, what they do when they're all, before they put the sole on and the welting, they actually stitch this face together with a little tiny stitch. So when they're sort of being sort of pulled around the last by hand, that area doesn't open out, and they don't want to put the laces in. And that's just an indication of a bespoke shoe. It's only very, very discreet. But it's just, like I said, there's one just there at the tip of my nail. And if I take the laces out, there's tiny little holes on the corner of every one. And if people claim they're selling a bespoke shoe, an English bespoke shoe, and it doesn't have those holes, they're mistaken. It's a ready-to-wear. If you look at the John Lobb ready-to-wear, they don't have them little holes. They're gorgeous things, but they don't have that, because the machine that makes them can hold and grip and stretch and welt at the same time. But wonderful things. And now, people that understand and are very familiar with fine shoes will have probably already noticed these are almost an unusual shape for John Lobb. They're quite an aggressive sort of silhouette, particularly from the sole. They sort of flare out and they curve. They're quite sort of angular. Most unlike John Lobb. This is more and the actual design of the medallion as well, like that ram's head type of medallion. Most shoe experts would look at these from a distance and think they were either George Cleverley, which is the most likely, but given this pronounce and that sort of ram's head medallion, or possibly a Foster and Son, particularly sort of from the 70s or the 80s, given the sort of curved nature of that last. Terry Moore, the last maker at Foster, he was very known for making these curved lasts, and as were early George Cleverley. But they don't really stylistically, classically look like John Lobb's, which is remarkable. I love that. I've got at least 100 pairs of John Lobb, George Cleverley and Foster and Son Bespoke. Lots and lots of the Foster and Son are styled, and the Clevers are styled similarly to this. None of the other John Lobb, apart from this, is the only pair that are sort of styled in this way. John Lobb's are normally more conservative, a little rounder, less angular, just more classically businesslike, and it's most unusual. And for the rarity factor alone, these are just fabulous. Just the rarity of the shaping of them. It has a classic West End sole, which is very much a John Lobb standard, but it's just the the flaring and the curvature that I find most unusual for a John Lobb shoe. And those of you with really sharp eyes will have noticed these toes have been replaced, but they've been so skillfully replaced. I believe they've been done by John Lobb. It's a bespoke standard. It's not just stitched on. It's got a concealed channel. The only giveaway is that line there and the slight difference in colour. I could have coloured the two together and tried to hide it, and most people wouldn't have noticed, but it's been so spectacularly skillfully done. You know, I like it actually. It's part of the charm of the shoe. It's certainly, from up here, you would never notice. Usually when a cobbler's done it, they grind it off on a machine, glue the leather on, stitch through it, and then sort of grind it flat, and you can see all the stitching. This has been done. It's got a hand cut channel. It's all hand stitched. So even though it's there, I'll point it out because, you know, a lot of people wouldn't notice, but I don't want anybody coming back to me later. But I'm afraid the Foster & Son Bespoke trees are not coming with them. They're quite large, but they're for another set of shoes, and I've actually put an insole in them just to get the tree fitting tightly. But if we look inside, we can see the light's not brilliant. It's glaring sunshine. It's difficult to film in this, but we've got the John Lobb signature. Have we got one, two? We've got 1, 2, 3 royal warrants, and there is the bespoke code inside here. But anyway, what more do I say? You know, they're just superb, and I would love to keep them. And if they fit me out a little bit better, if they weren't quite so broad and tall, I would put the inserts in them and pretend that they weren't too long. But unfortunately, with the combination of being too long and tall and broad, I'm not of a heavy enough build to get away with wearing them. So I won't keep them. I'm just going to sell them at no reserve on eBay UK. And I absolutely know these will find a home, that they'll be enjoyed and loved. And I love them, but I can't enjoy them because I can't wear them. My shoes are to be worn, not to be gazed at. They're not ornaments to me. All of my shoes get worn, and I've got, I don't even know how many, but it's more than 200 pairs. I never count. What's the point in counting? It doesn't make any difference. People do ask, and I don't know the answer. But they all have to be worn, and these can't get worn. They're simply too big. But eBay UK, no reserve, and I will put the listing number to the post on this video.